G'day, going to do some more work on the Amphibious jet boat, more work on the Driveline actually. Alright, there's the last part of the sprocket that goes onto the motorbike blind. There's the sprocket on the shaft that sits on there, but this is super loose and there's going to be load on here, so I need a bearing. A guy called Big Smoke commented, make a space like this I can split in half and fit around here, make that more rigid. Then I've got this taper lock for the bearing that will slide over there and weld that to it, but I'll set it up and I need to get it running true first. Alright, this end goes to the impeller for the jet unit. That end goes to the motorbike engine. This is where the sprocket's going to go. I've got the two bearings set up and I'm going to weld on that gap. And I've just got this DTI sitting on here that I'm running on this to try and true it up as I weld this up. Haven't got a perfectly round surface, so I'll just do my best. Big thanks to Reese for giving me this Toyo DTI. It's a bit old and rusty. I've had to put a piece of rubber band on here to returns better. He also gave me this little micrometer. I haven't seen one like this before. It's got a counter, gives you the millimeters and 2 decimal places. Got that sitting in there. It's all pretty good. Need to make a mount for this, but I'll wait till the rest of it's in first. Now let's sort this part out. Got the Toyo set back up to weld this gearbox part up. So I've got everything tacked together. This sprocket's a little bit out of line, but I can just shift it over. I might start making the mechanism to engage and disengage this gearbox thing. So that's my idea of how to engage and disengage. We've got a bearing here and then just a pull back thing. I had to make a bolt under here to prop this up so it slides easier. It'll scrape in reverse, but it'll be alright. You only go reverse for a little bit. It's only tacked together so it's starting to bend, but it works. Probably the next thing I've got to do is make something that goes in between here and jams it so it will go in reverse. Alright, I've got this lever, doesn't really work too good. If you wriggle and carry on, it'll go into gear. It comes out of gear pretty well. And then the reverse lever is just going to flip over like that. And as it turns, boom, jams that bolt. There we go, we're spinning the wheels backwards. But I made a fatal flaw that won't go past there, so now I have to redesign the whole thing. So I've changed that reverse lever to the other side so that folds into there. I need to cut it down a bit, it's not working very well. Put the chain on. I made this sweet bracket to hold this chain adjuster. Chain's that tight I don't need one. And I've put the dogs on here. I've hooked up the battery, taken the spark plugs out, so we'll give her a little test, eh? So that's reverse. That's neutral. And forward. Alright guys, I got the spicy cold, so I'll sound a bit crackly for a bit. You can't even say the C word on YouTube without getting demonetized, apparently, so you know what I got. It is great though, because I'm on lockdown, I've got time to do this sort of stuff. Got this kit from AliExpress, it's got all of the jets for these carburetors. Alright, I started rebuilding the carburetors, but didn't come with the main jet body, which is what I lost in one of the other episodes. Can't really do that, so I've ordered another one, waiting for that to get here. So what I'm going to do now, since I can't get it running, is I'll get all the stuff off this frame to see if I can get the motor wired up and ready to run at least. So I got a lot of the wiring loom and everything out, radiator and stuff. But I think the next thing I need to do is start fitting the big stuff. Like I've got the carbs on and I'm gonna make this exhaust fit now. There we go, done, perfect. Nah, it'll be too loud. I have to make a muffler. All right, so after a million little cuts and bends, I've got that exhaust sort of sitting how it is. I've managed to keep them all about the similar length. So it shouldn't hamper the power too much, but there's a bit of gaps to fill. I'm gonna have to do it at work with the MIG welder. So I'll move on to something else for a bit now. That took ages. Okay. I've got everything sort of dodgily wired up. I think it should light up. Let's see what happens. Let's get my key out. Red light now. Starting to get some signs. Oh, here we go. We've got a neutral light too. Oh! Just going to take a plug out to see if we've got spark. There's spark. Oh! Let's see if there's enough batteries to start her up. Alright, I'm sure it will fire up with a bit of effort, but I need to do a lot more stuff first. Let's give you a rundown on how everything's going to work. So you've got 6 gears on the motorbike gearbox coming through this shaft. This goes straight into the jet unit. So there's the jet unit there. When the wheels are up, it'll function normally. That'll be always spinning. Then the gearbox to the rear wheels, which I've showed you. That all works. The wheels fold up out of the way of the water flow. So when it's planing, there'll be no resistance via this crank handle here. But it's a bit slow, so I might need to put an electric motor on here. Still a whole heap of work to do, guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next